Welcome back to Morning Dose. I'm Shane Allen. Did you know that stress is the #1 cause of illness? And with travel season coming up, all that stress comes along with the traveling, and it could make you get sick during this time. It's actually very common. So how can we stay healthy and boost our immune system the natural way? Professional speaker, naturopath, and author of Travel Balance, John Ayo, joining me now with some tips. John, good morning.
Good morning.
So first of all, just to get it out of the way, whatever we're about to talk about, you should always, of course, check with your personal physician, your doctor, before you make any decisions for yourself regarding any of these tips that you may have. But welcome here. So with being sick while you're traveling, not fun. What's the most important thing that you can do once you start feeling sick? Like me, I've got allergies right now, so I'm trying to head that off into becoming something worse.
Well, the tricky part in all this is that you have to plan ahead in prevention, right? So if I'm starting to feel something, I've got to act quickly. So as soon as you start to feel the scratchy throat, I'm not feeling good, you got to have your supplements and start taking things, because you only have like a few hours to really get it early, and the sooner you get it, the more effective it will be for you. So acting quickly, drinking a ton of filtered water is going to help. But taking those supplements, so when we're traveling, the hard part is you've got to bring all those things with you, right? It's the same stuff whether you're traveling or not, but you just have to have it with you when you're traveling.
So what are those go-to supplements for you? I mean, you've got a doctorate in this, so what do you go to?
So some of my favorites, I use standard process products, which are sold through practitioners. You can do other kinds of herbs that you would get at your health food store, but some of the ones that I love, andrographis is a favorite. So it's a crazy herb people haven't heard of, out of Asia mostly. I know, but it's very effective. Congoplex.
Which one is it on here? Is it?
I think it's the small one.
The small one right here. Okay.
Andrographis is the small one, and it's an herbal formula that can just help with your immune system.
Okay.
The other one is Congoplex from Standard Process that just helps boost your immune system. So these things have helped me so many times. I've had a chance to travel around the world to a bunch of different countries, and man, I've had times when I'm like, oh man, I can't do this. This is day 2, and I'm going to be here for a week and a half. So I take these things, and the next day I feel awesome.
So let's talk about what to avoid. What are some things that you can avoid when you're feeling like your body's trying to fight something?
So same thing for allergies. So right now you're asking me about that. Is if you're starting to feel sick, I'm just going to have a bagel with some cream cheese. Not a great idea. So sugar, dairy, and wheat, and the foods that contain those are the things that kind of knock down our immune system. So you'll want to avoid, I'm just going to have some pizza, which would knock out all of them. Pizza and a Coke would knock out quite a bit of that, right? So you want to avoid those things as much as you possibly can.
My entire diet.
Yeah.
Thank you. So why, when we're traveling, and I think the answer here could be obvious, but why do we tend to get sick while we're traveling?
Well, as you mentioned at the beginning, stress is a big one. And when we travel, we're not in our natural habitat. So we tend to be more stressed. And when you get on that airplane, it's kind of like a little dehydration tube. So we're already dehydrated now. And then you get on that plane, it's worse. And that dehydration also contributes to knocking down your immune system.
So real quick, your top tips.
Drinking filtered water as much as you possibly can. Bring your water with you. Make sure that you pack a just-in-case kit. So I have a little thing that has, not all the bottles, but at least little plastic baggies that have those things in there. Acting quickly is key, and then avoiding those things that I talked about. So those would be the biggies that I would recommend.
Now, as an expert in naturopathy, do you ever get to the point in your own personal life where you're like, you know what, I need a prescription, or you know what, I need some over-the-counter medication?
There is a time and a place, absolutely. And every now and then you run into that, and that's why you started off with. You got to go to your doc if you need to, and if you're traveling, sometimes it's in a different country with a different language, but you just have to go. So to do the best you can with these things, and your body is amazing, its ability to heal itself, always wants to heal itself.
But I think your big message, too, is getting ahead of it, trying to take things ahead of time to avoid that, right?
Absolutely. Prevention is key.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. And if you want him to speak and tell your company about how to be healthy and safe, you provide that for people, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I'd love to come speak with companies and associations and any groups that are interested in staying healthy all the time, but especially when you travel.
All right, his new book again, Travel Balance, where healthy travel drives greater business profitability. John Ayo, thanks a lot for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Shane.
Ladies.